Tesla just closed out the year with a 65% loss, and it's down almost 15% just today.
What's up, guys? Tesla's delivery and production numbers came out yesterday. They only grew at 47% in production and 40% in deliveries after saying they were going to grow 50% a year, and the stock crashes. Makes total sense, growing at 47% in a recession. If you don't believe there was a recession, I'm going to talk about that and why 2022 is already, we've been in a recession. And everyone keeps talking about, oh, into 2023, we might go into recession. News, we've been in a recession. I'm gonna show you in this video why we've been in a recession, and the fall of Tesla stock is just totally irrational and stupid, but let's get the video started.
On top of all that, Q4 deliveries for the EV maker just came in below analyst expectations. Still, our next guest remains bullish on the stock, maintaining his strong buy rating through it all.
To me, if you were buying Tesla during the past couple years, you would be idiotic to not be buying it this time. The price, everything with the company is doing amazing while the stock is crashing. All that equals is a buy opportunity.
Let's bring in Garrett Nelson, senior analyst at CFRA. Garrett, welcome. The hard thing about talking to you about it now is that if you're right to be bullish, it is a better buy now than it was 70% ago. But what just happened to this stock? And your own estimate for deliveries, I think, was 435,000. They came in at 405. How weak is demand really?
How weak is demand right now? Let's look at the numbers. They were the number one selling car in Europe in November.
Thanks for having me. That's really the big thing that's weighing on the stock is was the third straight quarter in which Tesla's production has exceeded its deliveries. So, it's built some inventory, which help explain some of the announcements they've had about extended downtime at the Shanghai factory. But still, we think this is an overreaction. It was a record high quarter.
I mean, just multiply what their deliveries are this quarter to 400,000 times 4, that equals 1.6 million. So already a 300,000 increase from today, which is a pretty solid increase already just automatically at production right now. They're gonna grow from 1.3 to 1.6, not to mention that they're still at the beginning of the ramp ups of Berlin and Texas. Who knows what the production rate will be at by the end of the year, but my predictions are closer to 2 million, which is another close to 50% growth for next year. Let's say it's 40% again. What company is growing at 40% right now? If you can name it, during a recession, a company growing at 40%.
In terms of deliveries, we think there are catalysts ahead in terms of a potential stock buyback announcement of the magnitude of $5 to $10 billion, we think.
I definitely want Tesla to do a stock buyback. Elon talked about it in the last Twitter space, that he says it's sometimes good to wait it out. You don't know how bad things could get, so it's good to just hold your cash until you know when things start looking a little bit better. Maybe then they could do a stock buyback.
The Cybertruck is coming at some point in the next 3 or 4 quarters. That model has a record high backlog in terms of any forthcoming EV model. Upwards of 1.5 million units of orders have been placed.
Sure.
And also, starting on January 1st of this year, the lower price versions of the Model 3 and Model Y became eligible for $7,500 federal EV tax credit. So, given the recent sell-off in EV equities in general, not just Tesla, but names like Rivian and Lucid, which have declined by much more, we view this as a buying opportunity here in Tesla.
So, I mean, I wonder, though, if the criticism that they are all talk and no action. I mean, they've done a fabulous job with the existing models, getting it up to speed, sort of giving us the template for what an EV maker in the U.S. can do over the past decade. But now people are starting to want more. They feel as if they don't have a lot of options. It takes forever to get these vehicles. Now there's a question about how much demand was pulled forward with the pandemic and how much is still out there. And there's a lot of people with a little bit of buyer's remorse because they're just not used to the Tesla interface and maybe struggling a little bit with that. What would you say about these demand concerns? Maybe the EV tax credit will be somewhat of a catalyst, but what kind of reset do we need both for EPS this year and for total deliveries?
Also, to add to total deliveries, I believe 2023 will be, even maybe Q4, in a couple weeks, they might start announcing revenue for the Megapacks. I think Megapacks is going to be huge for Tesla long term. I've made a few videos on it. They sell for close to $2 million each. So when this starts showing up in revenue. I think it's going to start changing people's perception as just an automotive company. So if we're only looking at deliveries, it totally makes sense. Over 90% of their revenue is automotive. But I think as going into the future, starting in 2023, we're going to start having to look at the energy side of Tesla as well. So not just looking at total vehicle productions, but also total battery production and megapack production going into the future.
We're still expecting more than 40% EPS growth this year over last year. Tesla's coming off a year in which it posted, more than 40% volume growth. What they really need is to bring the Cybertruck to market as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So if there's any way they can expedite that, it's been since March of 2020 when they put out a new model, the Model Y. Aside from the Semi, which they just recently rolled out. So we think they just need that new product to get people excited about Tesla once again. But as far as the inventory build and some of the demand related concerns, Tesla is not alone. Other automakers are suffering from the same thing.
Sure, absolutely. And I would add, the Fed has been probably the single biggest force in this stock, other than Elon himself and the whole Twitter debacle. So for them to really turn things around, do we need a change of narrative on the Twitter story? And what is your thesis about stock buybacks?
On announcing a new CEO of Twitter, they're talking about that the stock could jump from there. To me, dumb. He says it takes no mental capacity or very little mental capacity to run Twitter. Just because he makes tweets doesn't mean that he's not still doing stuff with SpaceX, not still doing stuff with Tesla or Neuralink. It doesn't take much for him to handle Twitter. And to me, it's stupid. But like they said, when the Twitter news comes out, a new CEO is coming for Twitter, the stock's going to jump.
Yeah, so we think the narrative on the Twitter story is changing, and that is really investors wanted to see Elon Musk take a step back and assume more of a chairman's role to find a CEO for Twitter, because clearly it's been a huge distraction for him, and so he's on that path. We think he's searching for a CEO right now, and then the buybacks, they've alluded to that they could announce a buyback. Sort of the $5 to $10 billion type magnitude, at some point in 2023. And so we do think that's coming. Tesla's balance sheet is very strong. The credit rating was just raised to investment grade by S&P, and they're still generating plenty of free cash flow. So we really think a lot of these recent concerns are overblown. So we view it as a buying opportunity.
I see this as a buying opportunity as well. Like I said earlier, we've been in a recession this past year. It's the 6th worst year in the S&P's last 90 years in the S&P, down around 20% for the entire year. Tesla's growing at 40% during that time. I believe they're going to grow even more than that this year as megapacks ramp up. So it's a very exciting time for Tesla. I know right now it seems scary, but you just got to think long term. What's the future of Tesla? Full self-driving, people don't even believe that it's real yet. Maybe most people don't even know about it. They don't know about the energy side, not even talking about Optimus. There's so much positive news about Tesla in catalyst going into the future. Cybertruck isn't even out. The Model 2, cheap under $30,000 EV, hasn't even been talked about yet. What about the Roadster coming out? There's so many exciting things about Tesla, and for it to be trading at below 30 PE while growing at 40%. If you're familiar with Peter Lynch, that just screams buy. Whenever your growth rate is higher than the PE, that means an amazing buy opportunity. And looking at forward PE at 20 for next year and growing at 40%, it's just an even better buy opportunity. I personally will be buying. I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm buying with every spare cent I have. People in the comments talking about Tesla's going to 20, going to 70. Please give your thesis of why you think that this is going to happen, because everything for the fundamentals of the company is doing amazing. I'm staying a hyperbole. I'm very excited for Tesla's future. I plan on holding this and honestly living off the dividends later. Obviously, they're not a dividend company right now, but as they continue growing, I believe in the future they'll start giving out dividends. And I couldn't be more bullish. I know it sounds like the worst time for Tesla. The stock is crashing while their revenue's growing at over 40% a year. To me, it's just idiotic. It doesn't make sense. But if you're a long-term investor, this is just an amazing buy opportunity. I've thought for the past couple of years it just grew way too fast, and now I'm not going to be able to multiply my money as much as I thought I could. But now that it's back to these levels, I'm just super excited that more people can now get in, and I could be selfish and just load up at these prices. I wish I had more cash. What an exciting time for Tesla. I know it's crazy to say, but I'm very optimistic for this company, especially for 2023. Let's have a great year. Happy New Year's, everyone. My name is Sean. I'm the Tesla Hyperbull. Thank you for watching.